A dragon queen is not a costume. It's a pattern of traits that the system consistently tries to break. A dragon queen usually has some mix of presence that doesn't ask permission, instinct that sees through masks, a body that reacts to lies like poison, a voice that carries authority without training, a natural immunity to group hypnosis, a capacity to make others remember themselves, a refusal to play nice when the truth is required. She doesn't have to be famous. In fact, many of them are not. Some are queens, some are mothers, some are artists, some are healers, some are whistleblowers, some are women who simply won't submit to the role assigned to them. And the reason the machine targets her isn't because she's better. It's because she's contagious, not by ideas. By memory, because memory spreads. And memory collapses control systems. That's why this series started with The Flame That Waited. Because the flame wasn't asleep, it was contained, waiting for the right moment to ignite through the right bodies. This is the playbook. You'll see it in royal history, you'll see it in religion, you'll see it in celebrity culture, you'll see it in courts, hospitals, tabloids and family systems. First, they poison the public's emotional response, because if the public feels disgust, they won't investigate. So they don't say, she's telling the truth. They say, she's unstable, she's immoral, she's attention-seeking, she's a liar, she's dangerous, she's difficult, she's crazy. Smear is not gossip. Smear is a spell. It creates a social permission slip for what comes next. Then they cut her off. From allies, from resources, from reputation, from money, from the ability to speak freely. Isolation makes even a strong woman start doubting her own perception. That's why isolation is always step 2, because a flame alone is easier to suffocate. Every era has a label that authorises punishment. Heretic, witch, traitor, unfit, hysterical, mentally unwell, a danger to herself, a danger to others, difficult to work with. The label isn't designed to be fair, it's designed to make the cage look reasonable. Then the label becomes a structure, a trial, a contract, a conservatorship, a care plan, a non-disclosure agreement, a custody battle, a court order, a forced separation. The trap doesn't have to be chains, it can be paperwork. Finally they kill the story. Because if the story survives intact, she becomes a beacon. So they rewrite her into a cautionary tale, a scandal, a meme, a tragic mess, a villain, a punchline. And when the rewrite lands, the public repeats it without realising they're participating in the extinguish ritual. That's the protocol. And it's ancient, which is why Game of Thrones was coded history hit like it did. Because you can change the costume, but the pattern stays the same. In royal systems, the female threat is often simple: legitimacy. A woman doesn't just carry babies in those systems. She carries claims. She carries the right to rule, the right to inherit, the right to name heirs, the right to transfer power. So when a woman has a legitimate claim, the extinguish protocol goes into overdrive. Smear her into immoral, isolate her into captivity, label her traitor, trap her with court procedure, rewrite her as a scandal. And what people miss is this: a royal execution isn't just a death. It's a message. It's a ritual to teach the population what happens when legitimacy doesn't submit. Because covenants are not vibes, they're contracts. And the system has always been obsessed with contracts. Now we bring in what most people don't understand. The body remembers things the story tries to erase. This is why I called it spirit silt. Silt is what settles at the bottom when the water is disturbed. Truth settles too, even if the surface is full of noise. So when a dragon queen is targeted, her nervous system becomes the battlefield. That's why the machine uses stress loops, sleep disruption, humiliation, surveillance pressure, constant emotional spikes, public judgment, controlled environments, because if they can make her body misfire, they can call it instability. And then they can label her, and then they can trap her. Because this isn't just about famous women, it's about the mechanism used to break women like you in private, where there's no headlines, just silence. Modern times didn't remove the extinguish protocol, it upgraded it. Now the execution is public humiliation. The stake is the internet. The crowd is the comments, the judges are headlines. And the cage is concern. Britney is a clean example because the mechanism is visible. She wasn't just mocked. She was managed, the smear was constant. The isolation was structural, the label was unstable. The trap was legal control. The rewrite was, this is for her own good. And that last line is the most dangerous line in any control system, for your own good. That sentence can justify anything. It's the polite mask on a cage. And the reason this matters in the Bloodline saga is this. Britney isn't important because she's a celebrity. She's important because she shows the modern cage in daylight. so the audience can recognise it in their own life. That is Dragon Queen work. Not worship, recognition. Red house, the signal, the ignition, the refusal. Red gets targeted through rage framing and moral smear. They try to turn righteous fire into instability. Black house, the shadow seer. Black gets targeted through paranoia framing. They try to turn perception into delusion. White house, the purifier, the truth blade. White gets targeted through too intense, too harsh, too judgmental. They try to soften the blade until it can't cut lies. Blue house, the messenger, the singer, the channel. Blue gets targeted through voice suppression. They attack reputation, speech, platform, audience. Green house, the builder, the healer, the stabilizer. Green gets targeted through exhaustion. They try to burn the healer out so nobody gets restored. Gold house, the sunlight frequency, the legitimacy. Gold gets targeted through corruption attempts. They try to buy it, seduce it, flip it, because if gold goes dark, the whole system stays intact. Silver house, the final house. Silver isn't aesthetic. Silver is the last layer, the mirror. Discernment, the ability to see mimicry. The final house is because silver is what exposes what's real. Silver makes the fake flinch. Which is why, as the awakening rises, the mimic problem rises too. Because when people wake up, the system doesn't just attack, it imitates. Now here's the point. This isn't just history repeating. This is the system reacting to a threshold. The reason you're feeling the acceleration is because the flame house is returning in public, and the machine has less time. So it's moving faster, louder, more aggressively. More smears, more labels, more cages disguised as care. But here's what they can't stop. Once someone sees the protocol, it stops working as well. Because you can't be gaslit once you know the script. And that's why episode 1 had to be the ignition. And episode 2 has to be the map. Red house, the signal, the ignition, the refusal. Red gets targeted through rage framing and moral smear. They try to turn righteous fire into instability. Black house, the shadow seer, the detector. Black gets targeted through paranoia framing. They try to turn perception into delusion. White house, the purifier, the truth blade. White gets targeted through too intense, too harsh, too judgmental. They try to soften the blade until it can't cut lies. Blue house, the messenger, the singer, the channel. Blue gets targeted through voice suppression. They attack reputation, speech, platform, audience. Green house, the builder, the healer, the stabilizer. Green gets targeted through exhaustion. They try to burn the healer out so nobody gets restored. Gold house, the sunlight frequency, the legitimacy. Gold gets targeted through corruption attempts. They try to buy it, seduce it, flip it, because if gold goes dark, the whole system stays intact. So if you've lived this, if you've been smeared for having boundaries, isolated for speaking truth, labelled for seeing too much, trapped by systems that pretend to help, rewritten into a version of yourself you don't recognise, listen to me, that wasn't random, that was a protocol. And the moment you recognise it, you start exiting it. Because you stop arguing with people who are under a spell, you stop trying to prove your innocence to a machine, you stop begging for the cage to feel kinder, and you start doing the one thing the system cannot tolerate, remembering who you are. The flame that waited is not waiting anymore. The silt is rising, the silver mirror is turning, and the houses are waking up.